My name is J.S. Williams Jr. Following video is not for children. It will probably have foul language and strong adult subject matter. So if you have kids in the room under the age of 14, 13 and a half, throw them out. So I'm about to get real, and you're either going to like this video or you're going to hate it. I will try to keep the cussing down to a minimum, but I will not guarantee it because I can probably outcuss any sailor on the planet. So, this is about hate crimes. And the reason I'm doing this video about hate crimes is for the simple fact that some of the things all kind of roll into one. I'm bringing this up because if you watched my last video about Michael Jackson, R. Kelly, and the dude from Empire, you know, I'm flip the script and we're going all about the dude from Empire right now. Alright? Hate crimes is a noted fact. There are more than one type of hate crime, but only two of them really get talked about. So most hate crimes that we talk about in America, I can't really say in other countries because I've only lived in America. I visited Canada. I don't know how their hate crimes work. But for us, our hate crimes are either racial or about gays and transgenders and shit like that. So we're going to dive into that, and I'm going to probably offend everybody. So let me apologize now, because everything that comes out of my mouth, once it takes out, you can't take it back. And I say this because even if you word something wrongly, if you said it, you meant to say it on some level or another. So therefore, enjoy the video. Alright, first off, let me say that I got a mad respect for the people who live the alternative lifestyle. And by that, LBDGQ, all you people who don't live the life I live. Because y'all got so many letters that I probably just offended you all trying to just decipher that shit. Alright? So, first off, to gay people, transgenders, and everyone in between, I'm sorry for this video, because this video is just all 100% facts, and until we address this shit, it's never gonna go away. It's just that simple. Hate crimes is a noted fact in America, and it's always the wave, alright? And the reason I say that is because some years hate crimes up here, some years hate crimes down here. And when hate crime hit Charlottesville, which is my hometown, which is where I am right now, it flew back up here. But the thing was, Charlottesville was mostly up here anyway, and it would drop, and it would wave, and it would drop. I've been the victim of racism, which is also a hate crime. It's just not a legalized hate crime. It doesn't become a hate crime until someone is injured or killed, but it's still a hate crime. If you're walking down the street and someone who is not the same tone of skin as you goes out and hollers, "Hey, nigger," or "Hey, shink," or "Hey, honky," you've been a victim of a hate crime. There's not anything they can really do about it because freedom of speech kind of protects people who want to call you that. Now, it becomes a legalized hate crime when they say, "Hey, nigga, I'm going to rearrange your teeth," and they commence to throw you an ass whooping. Then it becomes hate crime. It's also assault, but it's assault because they hate the color of your skin, right? And that could work if it was a black person going against a white person. Oh, I just hate white people. First white person I see, "Hey, redneck!" So then they beat up on rednecks. And now it's double that because it's a black guy versus a white guy, and generally in Commonwealth states and specifically Virginia, they tend to lean more toward the people who is not of color. I hate saying that shit, but it's the truth. It's always been the truth. I've been in Charlottesville all my damn life. I've been the victim of racial profiling. I've been the victim of white police picking me up because of my ass being colored. I've been the victim of getting a speeding ticket by a racist cop, which is the only case that I've ever won, even though I was guilty. The judge is like, okay, this guy has got yay so many complaints on him. I only needed one of y'all to be brave enough to stand up and say something. And I told the judge, I said, well, I just want to pay the ticket because I'm black, he's white, I'm not going to win, you're white, half the courtroom is white, I just want to pay the ticket. He said, so you think the city is racist? I said, no, I know the city is racist, and I also know that there's no way in hell I can win. You know? And that's how I basically won. And that was the only ticket that I didn't have to pay for. Now, granted, I'm probably guilty of speeding. I've gotten plenty of speeding tickets, but that one cop had never brought in anybody white. He had always brought in black people or people of color. And this happened to be the cop where I went through a yellow light. He let me get 2 blocks before he decided to pull me over. And I won't go fight the ticket. I know the light was yellow. He said the light was red, which was not red, it was yellow. Then he let me go to 2 more lights before he gave me the ticket. And once I explained that to the judge was not a happy character, which is why the judge insisted that I fight for what was right. And I told him, you know, there is no right when it's black and white. If you ain't white, you ain't right. It's just how Charlottesville has always been. Alright? Things have changed a little bit since my 23rd year of life when that happened. You know, we all, whites and blacks alike, have gotten tired of this racial bullshit that has been going on. And then the Unite the Right and the alt-right and the Ku Klux Klan and all the other things that have come through my town has made people open their eyes more. Because people are always saying, in Charlottesville, this is a famous saying, y'all black people always playing the race card. Yeah, we kind of are. Because we're the ones getting the fucking shaft whenever something goes wrong. The first thing that happens was us black people did. Even if us black people go nowhere around the situation, if your skin tone is brown, your ass is going down. It's always been like that until Miss Hire passed away. And she was killed by a white man because she was a white woman supporting black people. She happened to be the right person at the right place at the wrong time, as this dude plowed through a bunch of black and white people who were anti-protesters going to stop the guy, Mr. Kessler, or whatever the hell his damn name is, for having a Unite the Right, whatever, the big-ass riot shit. I wanted to put Charlottesville on the map for our acting, mostly because we have famous actors who live here. However, none of them, like me, are pushing to get more acting in Virginia done. So I'm like fighting a losing battle there. But anyway, moving on. That's when hate crimes become an actual crime, and it's a hate crime because of gender and skin tone. Now, the dude from Empire, he allegedly paid people to whoop his ass. Okay. As a man of color, I don't know too many brothers, gay or straight, that's willing to pay somebody to beat their ass. That's not some shit we do on the East Coast, buddy. So I don't know what the hell's going on there. But I also didn't know that Empire was being filmed in Chicago, which goes to prove that there's still hope for me yet. Acting isn't just in Hollywood, you know. So yay me. I don't want to move to the Windy City though because I don't want to get shot. Sorry, Chicago. But this is the thing. I support I Am Jazz. I can't find it on TV anymore because it probably comes on when one of my DC shows are on that I watch, or it probably comes on when one of my Marvel shows comes on that I used to watch, like when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was on. Then you couldn't peel me away from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Sorry, that's just my shit. I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I wish I was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's never going to happen, but at the same time, if it does, Marvel, forgive me for all the swearing, I need a job. Make me American Eagle. Anyway, moving on. Hate crimes are a serious thing. Hate crimes for gender, hate crimes for race, hate crime for sexual orientation. These things happen all the damn time. All the time. And for you to fake it, you're making it bad for people who are actually victims of hate crimes. Alright? Now, I've been a victim of some serious racial shit here. And in my 20s, and not so much in my 30s, but more in my 20s, because most people have no idea what the fuck my color is, or my race for that matter. But in my 20s, I was walking downtown. I was actually coming home from making a film or whatever, editing a film. I don't know what the hell I was doing, but anyway, I was coming home. I was walking right on down West Main Street. So this young white lady was at the church on West Main Street, right up from the Amtrak station, which I was coming down the hill, and she was going up the hill. So whatever she thought I was, she crossed the street where the 7 tigers were, not 7 tigers, excuse me, the 3 emperors, and then she came up to where Mel's was and crossed the street back over by the time I had got down to where I crossed the street to go to where the church is at. So enraged, I looked back and said to her, I'll be the same nigger that saves your life when you're crossing the street to where other black people are who would probably stab your dumb ass. And she looked back, and I know she turned as red as hell. She's about as red as the red in this thing here. And hightailed it on back past the Amtrak station and went on up past to wherever the damn shit was she was going. Now I'm fired up, pissed off that she did that. You know, because I'm like, I guess she might have thought I was Mexican because the Mexican stereotype is Mexicans will cut you. And I'm like, but I'm not Mexican. Which was another thing I was once a victim of racism for at school, because one of the teachers who thought I was Mexican said to me, James, you know the answers are in the back of the book. You should probably use them to cheat because you're not going to pass my class. In fact, how can you be Mexican and not speak Spanish? I got a little irate on that, and I said, ma'am, that was like a really racist thing to say. First off, my last name is Williams, not Hernandez. I am not Mexican. I am not Latin. I am of Cherokee Indian, black and white descent. You, being from Spain, might want to get some culture before you just assume that somebody is a Mexican because you see my face and I look Mexican to you. Which has happened to me with other Mexicans. Other Mexicans have come to me and started speaking Spanish. Like, hey, dude, I'm not a Mexican. It's like, what? You look Mexican? I said, yeah, I'm mixed, but I'm not Mexican. I'm part Cherokee, part black, and part white. And, oh. So, no habla español? Muy bien. That's about the only Spanish I know. Sorry. Maybe Danny Trio can teach me some Spanish. Anyway, that being said, and FYI, Mexicans are Native Americans for those who don't do their history. Anyway, moving on. And Native Americans are also all Asian for those who don't do their history. Anyway, moving on. I have been picked up by ATF agents because some black guy raped a chick in Willoughby, and I was wearing a Nautica pair of jeans and a Nautica jacket. I have not worn a Nautica product since that shit, since they were probably going to kill me because of the color of my skin. I don't own a gun. I don't like guns. I got these guns right here, these right here, and the feet in which I stand on. And I'm pretty damn good with using them. And I don't mean in running from a fight. Anyway, I have been the victim of racial targeting, which is also a form of hate. I have gone through a lot of racial stuff in life, you know, and hate crimes are hate crimes, and hate crimes generally go to you because you're a person of color, or a white person who has a person of color in your life, which means you could be a white man married to an Asian woman or a black woman, and you're automatically a nigger lover, or a chink lover, or a gook lover, and you will get this. And then me and that I'm mixed, your kid's gonna go through so much more, because I've been through so much more since childhood. You know, hey half-breed, hey spick, hey gook, hey chief, which is my least favorite to be called, because I be fixing to hurt people when they call me chief. And you know, and there's not a lot you can do to prepare your child for that. My mom looks white. Her dad looked white. But they're both black. Well, one of her dad's ancestors was black. But he looked like a white man with a tan. He didn't look black until he fucking died, because all his skin color and stuff faded away. My mom can straight pass for a white lady. I straight up lost her in Scottsville amongst a bunch of white people. Okay? It happens, trust me. It's funny as hell now. It wasn't funny at the time because I went into panic mode because I lost her not too long after my dad had died. And I don't know how she suckered me into going to Scottsville to the farmer's market. But my dumb ass took her to Scottsville in the farmer's market, and I forgot what she was wearing. And that's why I started calling her Premium Blend. 2 months after that, I lost her in the local CVS, and she stood between a tall white man and an equally tall Asian woman. And she was right smack in the middle. I'm running all around CVS trying to find her. Passed her twice. It's like, oh, there you are. So I don't go shopping with my mom anymore. Period. Just because she blends in with white people so well. But she's not white. She could pass for white, but she's definitely not white. So you go through life with these events. And being mixed, I have witnessed hate crimes I've watched hate crimes, and the thing is, hate crimes don't discriminate. You know, there are white people who hate other white people for just being white. They hate white people who live in poor neighborhoods, but they're living in poor neighborhoods because they're poor. So don't think that poverty does not go into white people's generic neighborhood. It does. White people are just as poor as black people. Some are worse off than black people. But the stereotypes have most of us believing that it's just us. Alright? You know, poor Native Americans, tribes are going through shit all the damn time, and no one's really following government treaties with tribes to honor these treaties and do the things they want to do. So if I do get my degree, I'm looking into going into maybe tribal policing or some shit like that. Unless my acting career takes off, and then I'm not going to do anything but make movies for the rest of my life. Because that's what I want to do versus what I got to do. Hate crimes are some stuff that span the globe. But I can only talk about America because there have only been movies made in America about these hate crimes, you know. Boys Don't Cry was a good one. Hilary Swank did a really good job portraying a girl who had an sexual identity crisis and was just not willing to be a lesbian, but she basically was a lesbian, and she pretended to be a boy, and then she was beaten and raped and killed and stuff, and it's based on a true story. And a lot of other true stories have been made into Dateline programs. The kid in Laramie, Texas, or Laramie something or another, wherever it was, I don't know his name, God rest his soul, but he was beaten for being gay. Gay bashing started in the 90s. It probably really started in like the late 80s, but I read comic books. I don't really watch TV or the news like talking about it, except for in the summertime with my dad. It was like our thing, and we would watch Entertainment Tonight. We watched Inside Edition and The Current Affair. They all came on back to back to back, and that was like our hour and a half time. And then favorite TV shows would be on at 8 o'clock, so whatever the hell Dad wanted to watch, I didn't care, because I'm going back to my room to watch what I want to watch. And then at home with Mom, it was basically, I watched the same shit I watched my dad, I just watched it by myself. Hate crimes became big in the late to early 90s. So between 91 and 95, hate crimes was on the rise, especially with the gay bashing and stuff like that, which is why we have gay bashing laws. Now, in at least 49 of the 50 states, it is illegal for you to beat a man up because he is homosexual. Now, the reason why I use the man is because you rarely hear about any lesbian gay bashing. And if you do, you can point me in a direction so I can learn. But for the most part, I've never heard of lesbian gay bashing. I've only heard of men gay bashing, and that was just the thing. I don't know why all that happened. I don't really care. I do respect gay people. They have the hardest lives to live. And I pointed that out at the beginning of the video because they have to worry about people who are quote-unquote normal straight men beating on gay men. Which I say again, let's be careful, because some of them gay dudes is tough, and they may be able to whoop your ass. And that's like a really bad thing to go off and get your ass beat up by a gay dude. Alright? No offense to anybody gay, but, you know, for us straight men, that's like a stab on your manhood. You know, I got beat up by this gay dude, man. That's just awful. But it can happen, so, you know, don't be going around trying to gay bash people. You won't get your ass kicked. You know, but, hey, to each their own. We all have our flaws and things. I'm bringing it back around to gay bashing because I want to end this video on a sour note. You know, with the dude from Empire doing that, he's not only made it worse for gay men, you know, openly or down low, whatever the hell the shit they do, you know, he hasn't helped them with that, you know. He's made it racial, and he's made it about gay. I understand about it being gay, but once it got racial, now it's going to be a problem. Because when people are attacked because of their race, it's a whole nother ball game than when people are just being attacked for everything else. You know, racism will be a constant problem in America until America either grows up or is wiped out by itself. You know, the melting pot will explode and overflow, and then everybody's got to go. It's just that simple. What affects one group of people will affect all group of people. It's just a matter of directness and a matter of time. We don't seem to understand that. I will make a second part to this video about hate crimes, because I've just taken up 20 minutes of your life.